Hey, what's going on, No Nation? It's your guy, Kelvin Hunt, editor of ChopChat.com. Welcome to the Built for Playmakers YouTube channel, where we talk FSU all day, every day. Hope you guys are doing well. Hopefully, you've gotten all your Christmas shopping done. Would like to say a Merry Christmas Eve to you. I'm recording this on Saturday night, so you're watching this Sunday morning or later. And hope you guys have a great time with your family and all that good stuff. I'm looking forward to doing that as well. But did want to get a bit of content out there to you guys. You may be at some in-laws' homes bored, or you may be driving. So just wanted to get something out there to you that would be relevant to FSU football, since we really don't have too much going on. But at the same time, I know there's a lot of impatience happening with FSU football fans regarding additions from the transfer portal, primarily quarterback and things of that nature. So going to touch on a couple of things as far as that goes. And if you wouldn't mind, go ahead and liking this video and sharing it. Appreciate all of you guys that support the channel. Seen tremendous growth in the channel over the last month or so. And so definitely appreciate that. And so we're going to get into why you should have patience with Mike Norvell and the coaching staff regarding additions from the transfer portal, right? And so I know, there's rumors of, Miami potentially adding Cam Ward if it's not already announced by the time you see this. Of course, FSU was looking at Cam Ward as a target along with DJ U, and so those are the two main quarterback targets. I've done a video on both of those as far as, strength and weaknesses. And, I would be fine with either one of those guys. And, we'll see what happens with that. I feel like FSU is going to get one of the two. It looks like it's going to potentially be DJ at this point. But, we'll see how that unfolds. But as far as everyone else goes, I talked about what FSU needs from the transfer portal. We talked about the quarterback position. We talked about wide receiver position. We talked about offensive line position. We talked about the defensive line position, defensive tackle, defensive end. They've already added one piece in Marvin Jones Jr. at defensive end, and probably need a couple of linebackers too, if I didn't mention that already. I'm kind of just going off the cuff here. So you've added Marvin Jones Jr. And so his portal addition kind of gives you an idea of how FSU does things if they really want a guy, right? So they brought Marvin Jones Jr. in. They brought in Ward and DJ at quarterback. They brought in one defensive end. They brought in one offensive lineman, the guy from Indiana who decided to go and stay at Indiana. And so typically, when you look at history will repeat itself. And so FSU typically, when a guy hits the portal that they really like, they will get him on campus. And generally speaking, after that official visit, generally speaking, if it's a guy they really want, usually they get him. Now, there's been instances where guys have taken quite a while. Jared Versus recruitment comes to mind. They got him on campus, and it took him a while to decide that, or to announce that he was going to come to FSU. I think Fentrell Cypress last year, he visited, then, he was like he was going to take some time. Then he eventually announced whatnot. But generally speaking, when guys hit the portal, FSU will get them on campus. And then, the wheels will be in motion to add them, so to speak. And so if you look at it, FSU really hadn't been in a huge rush to get guys on campus. Like I said, they've had the two quarterback targets, Marvin Jones Jr., the offensive lineman, and the defensive end, who ultimately went to Notre Dame, I think it was. And so, I say that to say this, guys. When you look at history over the past 2 or 3 years with Mike Norvell and the transfer portal, they have killed it. They have knocked it out of the park. They have been great at evaluating guys, and the guys that they want, they generally get. And so if you're looking at it now, they're, coming off a 13-0 season, they're in a position of, leverage. You're looking at several guys are going to get drafted. Jared Verse is going to be a first-round pick. Keon Coleman's probably going to be a first or second-round pick. You got Trey Benson, who's going to get selected. Johnny Wilson is going to get selected. Braden Fisk is going to get selected. So there's a ton of guys that are going to get drafted, right? So you have a track record of success with guys in the transfer portal. So just keep that in mind when you're looking at what the staff is doing. Okay. So what I want to do is I want to go back over the past 2 or 3 recruiting cycles, just looking at the transfer portal. And I want to give you some names and I'm going to give you some dates. And I want you to see where we are right now. So you're looking at this at the earliest on December 24th. Okay. So December 24th, I want you to listen to these names and then you're gonna hear me mention a date. And that date is going to be the date that they committed to or announced that they were going to come to FSU. Okay. So today is December 24th. Or later if you're watching this later. Okay. So I'm going to go through and list some names. I got my trusty list right here. All right. So we're going to go back to the first difference maker, so to speak. All right. We had Jamie Robinson, January 10th. Kiera Thomas, January 9th. Jermaine Johnson, December 26th. Dylan Gibbons, he didn't get to FSU until May. So he didn't even enroll in the spring. Now, ideally, FSU prefers their transfer portal guys to enroll in the spring to get through spring practice, get those reps under the belt, form that chemistry rapport with their teammates and coaches, learn strengths and weaknesses and all that good stuff. Sometimes, it just doesn't work out that way, but they would prefer that, those guys would enroll in the spring. Okay. So then we have Dimitri Emanuel. He enrolled in May. So he wasn't a spring enrollee either. Trey Benson, January 18th. Jared Verse, January 7th. Tatum Bethune, January 4th. Johnny Wilson, December 23rd. Fentrell Cypress, January 1st. Braden Fisk, December 26th. Kyle Morlock, December 21st. They had a whole bunch of guys on December 21st last year. Jaheim Bell, Jeremiah Byers, Keandre Jones, Casey Roddick. They were all December 21st last year. Gilbert Edmond, January 10th. Keon Coleman didn't enroll at FSU until May. All right. So when you look at history, like I said, they had and maybe that's what's kind of influencing or getting people kind of impatient in this recruiting cycle from the transfer portal. We had quite a bit of those guys to announce before Christmas last year, but then there were quite a few after the Christmas break also. You also have to keep in mind that FSU played in the ACC championship game, which that was another week that they had to prepare, unlike last year when they didn't have to worry about really preparing for a game that particular week. So that gave them an extra week last year to do some work in the portal, evaluate, make calls, see who's interested, all that good stuff. So you had an ACC championship game this year, so that's put you kind of giving you less time, so to speak, compared to last year or the last 2 years, so to speak. Also, if you look at it, there are a ton of teams with bowl games remaining. They're going to be quite a few guys to enter the portal in the next week or two. All right. And so that is when I suspect FSU's probably doing their due diligence now as far as finding out who's interested, as far as who could potentially be available. You have probably a lot of back channel stuff going on between the camps of certain players or, quote unquote agents or whatnot. And, I expect FSU to, get guys on campus. And once you see guys come on campus, you're probably going to see a quick trigger from these guys. Also, they're not going to have as much time to make a decision when it comes to if they're going to enroll or not, if they want to enroll in the spring, because the spring semester will begin shortly after the new year, and so FSU will have that advantage to leverage things also. So just be patient. this staff has an outstanding track record when it comes to the transfer portal. And like I said, they haven't really pushed for any of the guys that they've had on campus thus far, too hard. And like I said, I suspect that if they see somebody that they really, really, really want, they will look to get them on campus, and then kind of go all in from that aspect. And I think we'll see some guys start committing to the Noles and joining the program and enrolling in the spring so that they can get a head start on learning everything. Building that rapport with teammates and chemistry and just kind of assimilating into the culture, so to speak. And so I still feel fine about where we are as far as additions from the transfer portal. Like I said, you got to trust the staff. They're great evaluators, and they've shown an excellent closing rate as far as transfer portal additions. They're just went 13-0, won an ACC championship. They're going to have several guys going to the NFL draft. So you got all of that going for you that you haven't had in years past. And obviously the Battle's End has seen a huge increase in membership and support. And, that's always good to see. So that's going to come into play. It's going to come into play. Just be patient. And I think we'll see some fireworks here sooner than later. But again, we appreciate the support. I just wanted to get this out there to you. Like I said, I see you on social media, just kind of just feeling the vibes out there. Just feels like, fans are getting impatient and wondering what's going to happen. But look, I think somebody posted this a few days ago, and they said that Mike Norvell has proved them wrong enough times that they'll give them benefit of the doubt. And, that's pretty much the truth. Like I said, usually they have plan A, B, C, D, and E, and they'll be fine. So again, like this video, subscribe if you haven't, and certainly would appreciate it. Won't cost you anything. And, we put out content, pretty regularly here. Usually it's straight to the point, no BS. And I appreciate your support, guys. Have a great Christmas, and we'll talk with you guys soon. Go Noles.